mounted secure. Make sure there's no leaks, no bolts missing. Check the upper radiator hose, make sure it's not cut, damaged, or leaking. Also, I'm checking the clamps, make sure they're not broken, properly mounted and secure. From there, I'm going to check the alternator. Make sure the alternator properly mounted and secure. No bolts missing. Check the wires on the alternator, make sure the wire's not cut, not damaged or frayed, and it should be insulated. Check the tension on the alternator belt. This one got a 17 belt on it all the way around. So when I pull on the center of the belt, I shouldn't have no more than 3/4 inch play, the belt not cracked, damaged, or frayed. Okay, so, and there, I'm gonna check the water pump. The water pump is inside here. Okay, check the water pump. Make sure the water pump properly mounted and secure. Make sure there's no leaks. I see no cooling leaks. Check the tension on the alternator water pump belt. Pull on in the center. The belt shouldn't have no more than 3/4 inch play. Belt not cracked, not damaged, not frayed. Okay. From there, I'm going to check the exhaust system. All this exhaust system, properly mounted and secure. It's not damaged. No bolts missing. I see no carbon soot. Make sure the clamps is not broken. Okay. From there, I'm going to the frame. Check the frame. Make sure the frame properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, it's not damaged, no illegal welds on the frame. Checking my shock absorber. That's the shock. Check the shock absorber properly mounted and secure. Make sure it's not damaged, no leaks. Make sure the bolts is not missing. It's properly mounted and secure. From there, check the spring hanger in the front. The spring hanger is not broken. It's not damaged, no bolts missing. It's properly mounted and secure. Spring hanger here. In the back, I have a spring hanger in the back, properly mounted and secure. Not cracked or damaged, no bolts missing. That's the spring shackle. Make sure it's not cracked or broken or damaged, no bolts missing. It's properly mounted and secure. Everything you say has to be PMS, properly mounted and secure.
Oh, you have to say it.
Yeah, you have to say it, properly mounted and secure. Okay, from there, I'm going to check the leaf springs in the middle. Leaf springs properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, not damaged, also not shifted. Meaning that, put your hands like this. Put your other hand like this. Make your hand straight. You shifting your hand to make it straight. Okay. Shift. It's moving. It shouldn't move. Check the U-bolts. These are your U-bolts going across the axle. U-bolts properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, it's not broken or damaged. No bolts missing underneath it. Okay. All right. So from there, that rod right there, it's the tie rod. That's the tie rod, properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked. It's not broken or bent. Secure, it's not cracked, it's not broken or damaged, no bolts missing. It has a nut on it, that's a castle nut. Also, it has a Carter key, or you can say Carter pin. Okay, make sure it's not missing, it's properly mounted and secure. Okay, from there, check the brake hose or brake line. Make sure it's not cracked, it's not damaged, I hear no leaks. From there, I'm checking the brake chamber, properly mounted and secure, it's not cracked or damaged. I hear no leaks on it. The clamps is not broken. I will check the slack adjuster behind it. That's the slack adjuster. Right here. Slack adjuster. Properly mounted secure. It's not cracked or damaged. Also has a Carter key or a Carter pin. From there, I'll check the push rod. That rod that's going inside there. That's the push rod. Make sure it's not cracked. It's not broken. It's not bent. And it has a Carter key. When I pull on the slack adjuster with the push rod like this, I shouldn't have no more than 1 inch play with the brake release. So when you pull it like this, 1 inch play with the brake release. See, there go the Carter key and the Carter pin. Remember, you got that rod going in. That's the push rod. Okay? From there, on the inside, you got your brake lining with your brake shoes. Make sure the brake lining or brake shoes not worn dangerously thin.
What is 1/4 inch?
Yeah, 1/4 of an inch thick. You know, it shouldn't be less than that. Also, make sure there's no oil and grease on the brake lining. The brake drum, make sure there's no oil and grease on the brake drum. It's not cracked, it's not broken, it's properly mounted and secure. From there, I'm gonna check the inside of the rim. The rim is not cracked, Make sure it's not damaged, no illegal welds on the rim. I'm going to check the inside tire, make sure no cuts, no tire separation. Also, make sure that the top of the tire is level. If I had a tire depth gauge, I would check every groove. It should not be less than 4/32 of tire depth. Okay. It should be a virgin tire. It should not be a recap or re-groove tire. It has to be a virgin. Outside tire, make sure no cut, no damages, no tire separation. The rim on the outside, make sure the rim is not cracked, it's not damaged. Also, no illegal welds on the rim. Checking the lug nuts, make sure no rust trail, indication loose or shiny threads, and they properly mounted and secured. From there, I would check the valve stem. Check the valve stem, make sure the valve stem is not rubbing the rim, and it should have a cap over it. If I had an air pressure gauge, I would check the pressure. It should be at the manufacturer requirement or manufacturer specification on the tire pressure. In the middle, I have a hub, oil, and seal. So remember, hub, oil, and seal. Properly mounted, secured, no bolts missing. I see no leaks. It should be a sight glass. So remember, most of them are sight glass. Just let the examiner know, it should be a sight glass. If it's not a sight glass, I can take that cap off in the center, put my hand in, my finger in, and check and see if there's oil in it. You don't have to do it, but this is how you'll do it if you was in the real world driving. You wanted to make sure that cap is rubber. Flip it off, stick your finger in it, oil in it, so you're good. Okay, it's not grease now, that's oil. And then you just put it right back on. See how easy it's going. Okay. Hub, oil, and seal. See, proper mount secured, no bolts missing. It's not leaking. It should be a sight glass. If not, take that cap off, bless you. Check it and see if there's oil in it. Okay. Now, if I didn't say about something, then you don't have to worry about it. But I really think I pretty much covered everything over here. You probably see something that I see, and I didn't call it. You're probably curious about it. So what is it?
The power steering.
You see the power steering? No, we ain't got over there. Trying to get ahead of me. So. Not secure. Make sure no bolts missing. It's not leaking. You got a lower radiator hose, so you'll check the lower radiator hose. Make sure it's not cut, damaged, or leaking. And you know, you probably ready for it. So it's probably, matter of fact, it's on the bottom. It's on the bottom on that side. Okay. So once you've done that, then you're checking the water pump behind it again on that side. Checking the water pump. Make sure no cold water leaks. Okay. Check the tension on the belt. Make sure that the tension on the belt is not less than 3/4 inch play. Belt not cracked, not damaged, it's not frayed. Okay. From there, checking the oil. Everybody, like they say in the indicator, everybody know how to check the oil.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but you know, everybody. Okay. So everybody know how to check oil. Okay. So once you pull it out, you got to wipe it off.
Wipe it off and then
You stick it back in. I didn't wipe it off. My hand is dirty enough, so I got no paper. So then you pull it back out. Then you hold it. Don't hold it up like that because you're gonna run it back up on the stick. So you're holding it about like this. And it should be above the refill mark. See, that's the refill. You fill it up here, and then here it's full. You don't need to get it all the way up here. Okay. So if it's in between the refill mark, it's in between there, and you're still good. Okay. Yeah. If it's at add, then you need to add, probably a gallon. So if in between there, you don't worry about it. But either or, you let them know once you pull it out and you check it, and then you point to where it's at. You let them know where it's at. It should be between the fill mark, full and add, and it's right between them. 9 out of 10, it's going to be like that down there. It's probably going to even be full, right at the full. Okay? So, from there, I'm going to check the air compressor. That's the air compressor. Make sure it's properly mounted and secured. No bolts missing. Check the hoses. Make sure it's not cut, damaged, or leaking. Just looking at the air compressor. Is it belt driven or gear driven?
gear driven.
Yeah.
Huh?
Gear.
Okay. How you know it's gear?
Okay, I don't see a belt, and second, it's connected to the water pump.
Okay, not the water pump, but yeah, no belt in the front of it, so it's gear driven. That's the pump in the front of it. Okay. Check the pump. You check it to make sure no leaks, no bolts missing, hose is not cut, damaged, or leaking. It's properly mounted and secured. Okay. From there, I'm going to check the water reservoir. It's for the coolant. Okay. Make sure it's properly mounted, secured, no bolts missing. I see no leaks. Check the hose on it. Hose not cut, damaged, or leaking. The clamps is not broken. It's properly mounted and secured. And when you're doing this cooling, it should be between the max and the minimal. It should be between or full. If it's full, you're perfect. If it's in the middle, then you're still good. If you get down below this minimal, you got a sensor. You see the sensor going in? It'll start crying, letting you know you need to put something in it. And what happened is, you start it up, it's to run for a few minutes, then it shut off. Start it back up again, it run a few minutes, and then it shut back off again. Sometimes drivers think it's the fuel filter. Sometimes it could be. But if you get out and look at it, if it's down to minimum or below minimum, you're like, oh snap, I need to put some coolant in there. So you don't have any coolant. So you're on in the rest area somewhere, you don't have no coolant. What you gonna put in it?
Water.
That's right, put some H2O in it. You know? Once you put it in, yeah, pee in it, it'll be all right. Nah, don't pee in it. Come on, Joe.
Why you two
messing me up.
Well, it's the winter time.
Y'all been repeating what you said. Nah, for real. If it's low, get you some water, pour in it, whatever. As long as you get up above that minimum, and you get in and start it up, and it'll stay running. Because it has that sensor. Okay? So, remember, check the wires. Make sure the wires are not cut. Make sure they're not frayed. Make sure they're insulated. Anytime you come to a wire, make sure it's insulated. Okay? These right here is like air hoses. Check the hoses, not cut, damaged, or leaking. Okay? You see wires like this, they should be insulated. Okay? All right? From there, checking the steering shaft. Steering shaft properly mounted, secure, it's not cracked, it's not broken or damaged. And here it's hooked to the steering knuckle, or you can say a U-joint. You see how it look? Look like a U-joint. Like on the drive shaft, it's a U-joint, so you see that joint. Make sure it's not cracked or broken or damaged, it should be properly greased. From there, check the pitman arm. Is that the pitman arm?
No, that's a steering gear.
Okay, that's the gearbox, okay? Gearbox, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, not broken, no bolts missing. I see no leaks, no bolts missing. Here, power steering reservoir. Make sure it's not cracked, it's not damaged. I see no leaks, the hose not cut, damaged or leaking, and it should be full. Or it should be between the fill mark and the refill mark and the full mark.
Properly mounted and secured.
Properly mounted, secured, no bolts missing.
I repeat that, I'm doing it.
Here is the pitman arm. Properly mounted, secure, it's not cracked, it's not damaged, no bolts missing, and it has a castle nut. So everybody look at this nut so you can see it's called a castle nut. Just like a castle, it's a castle nut. But if you don't remember the castle nut, just say, make sure the bolt's not missing. Then you're still good, okay? Make sure the bolt's not missing. Also, it has a Carter key or a Carter pin, okay? All right, properly mounted, secure. Drag link, properly mounted, secure. It's not cracked, it's not broken or damaged. Also, it hooks to the upper steering arm. So remember, we were talking about the lower steering arm hooks to the tie rod. Upper steering arm hooks to the drag link. Properly mounted, secure. It's not cracked, it's not broken or damaged. Also has a Carter key, and the castle nut is there. The Carter key or Carter pin is not missing. Okay, so everything we said on the other side is over here. I did the steering. Now everything else is the same on the other side. Frame, shock absorber, brake hole, brake line, brake chamber, slack adjuster, push rod going in. You got the leaf springs in the middle. U-bolt goes across the axle. You have to say the same thing. Don't add none, don't take none away. Just say the same thing. Okay? Inside you got the brake drum, the brake lining. You got the rim on the inside of this here tire. Then the inside tire, no cut, no damages, no tire separation. It should be level all the way across. We have a tire depth gauge. You can check every groove. It shouldn't be less than 430 seconds of tire depth. Outside tire, not cut, not damaged. It should be a virgin tire. Okay. Rim the same way we did on the other side. Not cracked, not damaged, no illegal wears on it. The valve stem has a cap over it. It's not rubbing the rim, it should be metal. If you had an air pressure gauge, check the pressure. Should be at the manufacturer requirement. Hub oil and seal, no bolts missing. I see no leaks. It should be a side glass. I take the cap off, put my finger in, and check to see if there's oil in it. But again, like I said, when you test, you don't have to do that. You don't have to take it off. Okay? Lug nuts, no rust trail. Indication they're loose, properly mounted and secured. No shiny threads. Okay? That's pretty much what you need.